right, welcome to your first day in design and modeling. I'm going to use this video as an intro into the course and to give you a little bit more background on myself. So first off, our classroom expectations. Your Bluetooth should be on at all times. I use this to monitor student iPads and then also to give quiet reminders. If you get off task, I will use this to change it back to what you should be working in. Water bottles are permitted in the classroom, but we do not take them over to the computers. So when we start to work in our engineering software, we will make sure to leave those at the black lab tables. Because it is a lab classroom, we're not going to be eating in here. That does include food or candy. I do allow gum as long as it's in your mouth before the class period gets started, so I don't want to make a big distraction of people passing it out, leaving the wrappers behind on the floor, or not disposing of it properly. And then also blowing bubbles, that sort of thing. So make sure it's not a distraction. When you come into the room every day, I definitely want you to have your iPad. I also encourage you to bring something else with you, like other homework, a book to read, and then something to write with. If your iPad is not charged, that is not a reason not to bring it. We have chargers here in the room where you can plug it in and be able to work. Spacing may get limited, but I do want you still to be bringing that with you. So make sure that it is on you at all times. Music is going to be a privilege in here. There will be a few opportunities that you do get to listen to music, but I do want the earbuds out, especially at the start of our quarter. When you enter the room, if you have a telephone, that needs to be put into the pocket chart on my door. Phones are there all through the class period. And then after I dismiss you when the bell rings, then you can grab it at that point. But we're not ever going to be lining up or getting our phone out of that pocket chart early. A little bit of background on me. Best way to contact me is definitely during either East time or using email, whether it's the email app or Canvas. I'll be able to get that notification and respond quickly. This is my 15th year of teaching, so I have 14 years prior experience, and most of that time has been spent teaching math and science at the middle school and high school level. I did go back to Purdue to get my certifications to teach the different classes for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade that we do here for Project Lead the Way. I have one son. His name is Stone. He's in 5th grade this year. He loves basketball. But absolutely really loves baseball. He played for a team out of Greenfield called the Indiana Bandits the last several years, but is moving into a new team. So he'll be playing for the Indiana Bulls. So we're going to spend quite a bit of our time this summer over at Grand Park. He's always been kind of tall, but definitely this year he's having another major growth spurt. He started his 5th grade year at 4 foot 11 inches. And now he is 5 foot 3.5 inches. So he's grown quite a bit since the beginning of this school year. All right, how your class grade is going to come. So 75% of your grade is weighted in your projects and labs that we're doing here in the classroom. And then the other 25% is going to be the bellworks or reflections that we do here. So majority of your grade is definitely coming from your projects and your labs. The PowerSchool codes you should be familiar with. Either of those, if you see them, that means that you still can turn in a better or new attempt at that lab. So you are able to submit work all the way until the very last day of the quarter, up until 4 p.m. So even something from the first day of the quarter could be submitted all the way on the last day of the quarter. However, you will get a 10% deduction. So anything that is turned in past the due date receives that deduction. If you're out sick, you'll get as many days that you were sick to make that work up, and then the late policy would kick in after that. So I always encourage you to check in with me if you've been out or missing for an appointment or you've been out sick. Check in so that you can see what to do, and that means checking in either in person or sending an email. So we got a couple units we're going to be covering. Our first unit is our Introduction to Engineering and the Design Process. So we'll go through what engineering is. We'll look at how the different areas of STEM connect to objects and different careers. We will do a design process challenge where you'll be creating a piece of furniture. And then we will look at how the design process and CAD software can be used to create the different roller coaster rides that might be in theme parks. Our next unit, we will do measurement and sketching. So you'll learn how a dial caliper is read. Dial caliper is the instrument you see in the bottom left corner of the screen. And then we will take a look at orthographic and isometric sketching, which you see the examples in the bottom right corner of the screen. And we'll see what an object looks like from different viewpoints. Our last unit is going to be designing for production, and this is where we start to use our CAD software. We will definitely primarily be using Autodesk Inventor, but we will start to use a little bit of Onshape during the class time. And we'll be looking at the measurements that you'll have taken to create nameplates, logos, and you'll be creating a house or building or a room setting. So here are some examples of projects in the past. The Alabama logo you see in the top right corner is one that's showing it in the CAD software. And then down kind of a little bit brighter in the bottom row, you'll see that's what it looks like after it was 3D printed. And here's some more examples of different projects that have been created by sixth graders in the past. This is an example I love to include. It's one that I spent time working on. I didn't get to this in the very first day. It took me quite a bit of time to be able to learn how to use the Autodesk Inventor software, but this was something I created for another teacher in the building. And it was all based on pictures that he had sent me of what he wanted me to make.